Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at one of the best players out on the market at the moment and out on the ladder, Vortex as a Macedonian, and on the other side of the map, Core playing as OOTD. Two civilizations that are very good in the late Imperial Age for two very different reasons. On one hand, we have Core playing as OOTD. That's amazing in late Imp thanks to their pop efficiency of the army and mainly of the economy. Their villagers are still one population space, but they are 28% better. On the other hand, we have Vortex playing as Macedonian dynasty, and they are good, but they are good for a very different reason, and that is upgrades. The upgrades are just awesome. You have so many of them. You can get +6 on your archers just for a silver. Sure, in the 1v1 ranked game, it would be a little bit harder to get than in the normal one, but it's than in just the normal custom one. But it's still very good late game if thanks to that. On the other hand, we will see Vortex starting with a fast 2 villagers on a gold over here, pretty standard build order for the fast age up. At the same time, starting with a house, I'm not really sure why we are doing that. Why are we not starting with Varangian War Camp? Because it's also acting as a house, but it can respawn your dead units. So maybe we are making house because because it has a little bit less of a build time, but other than that, I don't see the reason to not start with a Varangian War Camp. On the other hand, we will see Core doing the very usual start with 7 food and then going on gold. We'll see what the age ups are gonna look like. Most likely Core will be going for the main work, but there is a very nice place for the chapel right here. He will get basically wood, gold and some berries as well. That will be very good for him. On the other hand, Vortex will most likely want to go for those heroes, and exactly we see Hippodrome as a play for him. On the other hand, we will see that chapel right over here. We cannot resist that triple resources under it, and this is beautiful. We are literally taking gold, we are taking a lot of wood, and at the same time we are going to be taking a lot of berries. This is 10 out of 10. In terms of the sheep count, we scouted relatively evenly, but Vortex is a little bit better on it with the 19 sheep in total, and Core only at 14. Core relies on the sheep a little bit more, especially because of that chapel right here. He would want to get more of them to get more sheep under the chapel, so he doesn't need to venture out on the map as soon as possible, so he can be under the chapel. Logical. On the other hand, Core will be going for the stone, and this is double TC, or no, this is not double TC. This is three villagers on stone just to gather enough for the arrow slits. Exactly, and we already see the outpost over here being placed on the front gold vein. This is something that we definitely will need to be defended, and Core will be in trouble if this is going to be breached. Why? Look at the distance between the bases. Like, we can nearly see both of the golds on the same screen over here, so if Vortex will decide to go for the very aggressive plays, it definitely can be rewarded with the gold in front from the Mr. Core. Vortex, on the other hand, going pretty standard over here, aging up with 4 relatively quickly, HRE or OTD aging up with 3, also relatively quickly, and right now we are making that Varangian War Camp for the respawning of the units, and that will be also acting as a house as well. First Horseman will be slowly but surely coming out on the field, and Vortex will most likely be trying to raid. Also, we are making a mill for the obvious reasons of spending our gold. We have 2 villagers on the gold vein, but for what? Right? We cannot make anything out of the gold. No upgrades for units, only the eco ones. Upgrades for units are for the silver. For that reason, we are going to be using our gold for the economy. And the first horseman will be coming here, but he will see a tower and slowly but surely will need to turn back. On the other hand, Core already popping down a barracks and stables at the same time, so we are most likely gonna be seeing at least a little bit of the units. Vortex still trying to raid, still trying to find some damage. Second batch of the units already coming out on the field with that Hippodrome Scout. Hippodrome Scout dealing 5 damage is completely amazing. One of the best scouts in the game, if we are not counting Imperial Age scouts from the Malians. On the other hand, Core Scout is going to be taking a little bit of the damage, but nothing big. Vortex On the other hand, still completely chilling. Wheelbarrow already in the queue. We are spending that gold that we are mining only or mainly for the silver. Are we making an arsenal? Exactly. Arsenal is already being popped down for that silver generation from the mining camp and for those upgrades that we will need to go for. Most likely, because we are playing for the horseman, we are gonna go for the horseman armor, but you never cannot be 100% certain. Core going for the wheelbarrow as well, so we are gonna be seeing a fast eco upgrade or relatively fast eco upgrade for the OOTD. Normally you are making them when you arrive to the castle age if you are not going for a big feudal play. Core still managing his spears really well. Gonna be trying to push Vortex off from this gold vein because it's not secured at all. There is no tower and there are not a lot of units that can deal with a spearman out of the field from Mr. Vortex. Sure, we can see a few horsemen here and there, but it's most likely not gonna be enough against OOTD spears. Horsemen coming out on the field from Mr. Core, and Vortex is gonna spot it slowly but surely, gonna be chasing it away. These horsemen are very good in terms of the fighting capability, thanks to their massive HP and a little bit more damage, but we are gonna be taking the fight over here, and those are two OOTD spears. Exactly, Vortex realizes, and we are running back, 3 OOTD spears at the same time. We are running back, and in the meantime pushing Vortex off from the gold vein. We don't really want him to be on the gold vein. We don't want him to get any more silver that he needs, and Vortex is being pushed into the archer play slowly but surely. More archers out on the field, less horsemen, better for us in terms of the raiding. We are not going to be getting raided, right? Core will definitely love it, and we are seeing that relatively fast farm stage under the chapel, something that HRE and OOTD really loves to do, but for two different reasons. But Vortex is not going to be diving this, and Core reacting in time with garrisoning the town center just in case. Now, why are these farm switches so good for these two civilizations? And for HRE is because Chapel is just so good. It's giving you nearly 40% bonus on the resources, and that's amazing. Just straight up amazing. You can go fast castle, you can go whatever you want, and this engage is not something that Vortex want to be taking exactly. He's slowly but surely being pushed back and running back home. For the OOTD is the different reason, and that is these farms are technically cheaper. Yes, it doesn't look like they are, but they are technically cheaper because your villages are better, so you realistically need less farms out on the field. Even if they are the same cost, they are still the 28% cheaper because you need 28% less villagers on them. That's why OOTD loves to do the farm transition, and under the chapel is just simply said better. On the other hand, Vortex already going for some archer play, so Core will be having some problems in terms of the spear count. But for now, there is enough of them out on the field if we will be taking an engagement. We are putting 6 villagers already on gold, and we are raiding at the same time, but probably we will not be able to kill a villager. Engagement is going to be coming in. No, not really. Both players realizing that they don't want to take it. Core is completely chilling because Vortex is not going for a castle age. There is not enough sheep under the TC. That's why we went for this deer peg right over here. But not seeing a tower on it, it's playing a little bit risky. Definitely can get raided if that's gonna if Core would want to. We can see already 3 horsemen out on the field for Mr. Core, so he is spamming the army as much as he can. 10 spears is a little bit too much, and we are gonna be raiding the wood line right now. Vortex, okay, Vortex is not gonna be raiding it. We saw that the TC is a little bit too close. We can still garrison the villagers inside of it, and also having 9 spears at home is a little bit too scary. Vortex still gonna be running back home with all of the cavalry, but forcing Core to heavily invest into the infantry early on. On the other hand, Vortex is still relatively shy on upgrades at the moment, only +1 for horses. On the other hand, Core already getting +1 range armor for everything, so there is gonna be a little bit upgrade advantage for Mr. Core at the moment. Longer the game goes, better it's gonna be for the Vortex. So you still need to remember that yes, Vortex has the better upgrades, but they cost silver, and getting that silver is a little bit harder than getting that gold vein. But this, I am not really sure if we want to be taking this fight. This is 11 OOTD spears. That's not something that we want to be taking, in my opinion, but we definitely are. These spears just need to be attack moving, and they are gonna be doing enough damage. Vortex still amazing micro. The archer is gonna be sniping one of them as we speak, and damaging two on the way back. On the other hand, of course, still trying to raid with one lonely horseman and one lonely scout, trying to snipe as many villagers as he can. But it's not as easy as it may seem.
Yeah.
Core is going for some man-at-arms play, so we are going to be seeing a few man-at-arms coming out on the field. Man-at-arms are really good for OOTD, but especially when you go for the main work and they get the beautiful upgrade that reduces their damage. But right now we don't have enough time to check it out because we are taking a fight at the moment, and spears are gonna be going forward and heavily damaging those cavalry that are gonna be engaging them. This is not looking good for Mr. Core if we are gonna be kiting. This is not looking good because kiting for Vortex is just, let's say, like it is better at the moment. Core, sure, wants to be taking a head-on fight, but Vortex is not gonna be giving it to him. He's gonna be just sniping a few of the spears here and there and then running back slowly but surely. That's why Core needs to go for the man-at-arms. That's why he needs to do it. But he is utilizing the missing of the army at home, and right now diving the gold vein. One villager is gonna be coming down, probably two of them. No, only one will be dying down. Are we gonna go on the wood line? No, we are not. At the same time, fight in front of the Core's base is going nowhere. Sure, we sniped a few of the units, but is it worth it? The military count still staying at the same exact numbers, or very similar. But on the other hand, we will see age up from Mr. Vortex, and it's gonna be the Golden Horn Tower. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not the same one that the Byzantine has. No, this is not spawning units, even though yes, a few crossbows here and there. It's mainly a red palace, but in the castle age. On the other hand, we can see the dive on the berry page over here, but two horsemen are gonna be dying, and for what? For only one villager. On the other hand, Vortex is going to be very happy with this engagement. Trading two OOTD horsemen for one villager is going to be very nice. On the other hand, Burgrave Palace already being placed for those cheaper men-at-arms, and mainly cheaper lanes connect if we will decide to go for it. But there is already a counterplay for them. Those are the archers already out on the field. Furidari are gonna be coming out as soon as we aged up, and the horsemen are yet again diving the berry patch. How many villagers are gonna go down now? Probably only one, and then we need to dip because there is a lot of spearmen over here. Exactly, we already upgraded the strongholds with the arrow slate upgrade, so it's gonna be relatively hard to dive in between of them. On the other hand, Core is already happy with farm transition that is basically done. Vortex's farm transition is nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, Core is done. That's where the chapel came in. That's why it's so strong. This wall is gonna be coming in time, and Vortex cannot be diving the wood line from this point. But we can from here because we cut through the wood line. Not looking good. One villager already gonna be coming down. Probably the second one as well. Exactly. Two OOTD villagers going down for what? For nothing. Spearman upgrading is going to be coming in for the Core, but my question is, are the Spearmen going to be enough when the opponent is already playing mass range units, and the crossbows are going to be entering out the field as well from the Golden Horn Tower against those beautiful men-at-arms? This is not looking good for Mr. Core. Vortex playing exactly how he needs to counter the composition from the OOTD, and on the other hand, Core is having a little bit of the trouble here and there. There are still some idle farms over here, and we are going to be putting villagers back onto them. Core sitting with 22 villagers out of the field. And that's a giant amount of food income. Still making more and more, still getting more and more from it, from the deer packs right over here, but that's gonna be running out as well. On the other hand, second deer pack is also relatively safe, but I don't think we really want to be taking it. Vortex is going to be trying to dive with one villager, is going to be coming down, and the second one will not. but the upgrades for the military are already in. Core opting for the knight play, but the knights are not gonna be good in my opinion. There are already enough spears out on the field to deal with them. Horseman still trying to raid, still trying to get some of the damage on those villagers, but only 1 HP remaining. Not gonna be looking good for him. We are out on the berry patch with some of the spears to secure it. And this is amazing. This is gonna be at least 1 or 2 villagers down. Vortex raiding the deer pack. That core was on giant problems. 1 villager already went down. Looks like the second one will go down. Exactly, second one went down as well. And Vortex standing in front of the base from the OOTD is gonna be pressuring very heavily. Sure, that we have a tower, sure, it has the relic in it, but is it gonna be enough? Most likely not. We still have the emergency repairs, and we are gonna be going for them. Emergency repairs will mean that Vortex need to slowly but surely go back home. But there is not a single range unit out of the core, and one reason why OTD is so good is because of the range units. Their frontline can be dying left and right, but it's gonna be super hard to kill it thanks to the massive amounts of the HP that they have. And in the meantime, the amazing range units are normally able to pick up everything. But there is only 1 crossbowman out on the field. Small problems. Vortex is gonna be most likely trying to push yet again. We can see a lot of Ridari out on the field, and that's gonna be... Those Red Arms are gonna be dying nearly instantly if the fight is gonna be taking place. Again, we are trying to engage over here. Sure, our archers have only +1, but remember, the ability is still in the case, and when that's gonna be popped down, that's basically going to +3, and archers with +3 are gonna annihilate everything. Core knows it. Core cannot be taking prolonged fights. Core cannot be fully engaging out of the range of the tower. Otherwise, this is going to be giant problems for him. Sure, right now we are trying to take a fight, and exactly this is what we are going to be doing. Not looking good for Mr. Core. There are not enough units to kill everything that Vortex has out on the field. We are not using the ability on the archers yet because Core can just run away, but there is enough Ridari out on the field to completely annihilate everything, and enough spearmen at the same time to, so they can tank the horsemen. More Ridari are coming slowly but surely. +2 who already went for recovery. +3 gonna be coming in shortly. And this fight is not going good for Mr. Core, even if the cleanup would be coming over here. Remember that a lot of the army from the Mr. Vortex is just simply said gonna respawn. So not looking good for Mr. Core at the moment. We are pushing the tower. 5 villagers were idle while all of this was happening. So even the economical advantage was going for the Mr. Vortex. Vortex is slowly but surely taking bigger and bigger leads in this series, or in this bigger and bigger leads in this match. Not looking particularly good for Mr. Core. Emergency repairs number 2 are gonna be coming in on the tower, and there is not enough melee units to kill the tower yet. Sure, a lot of our units survived, but all of them are ranged ones. Not looking good for Mr. Vortex if he wants to kill that tower anytime soon. On the other end, we are going on the golds, we are going on the berries, we are taking every single resource that's out on the map. So slowly but surely we will be taking deer packs at the same time. And what is Core doing? He's forced on the farm to his base. We are on the one small berry patch behind the base, but that's about it. 1 tower is gonna be getting the enforcement upgrade, and it's gonna be standing for a little bit longer. But this is not bomber tower, ladies and gentlemen. This one will be slowly but surely dying, even to the 4 Ridari that are out on the field over here. And all the farms are idle. Course food resources are plummeting to the ground. Meanwhile, Vortex already standing with 34 villagers out on the foot. No farm transition yet inside. That may be a problem for him, but the question is, are we gonna survive long enough? So that's gonna be the case. The 3rd emergency repairs are coming in, and this tower will be surviving as long as it wants, because we simply said don't have enough melee damage to just simply said kill it, or don't have enough dodge damage to kill it. On the other hand, Vortex already taking more and more of those relics. In terms of the relics, I'm not sure if we really want to look at it, because it's relatively good for Mr. Core. 2 relics are already out on the field for him, but the Vortex, with all of the map control that he needs right now, is most likely gonna be securing the rest 2 that are still out on the map. And the core opting for the mass archer play is relatively good, or is gonna be really good, Remember, these guys have +4 armor, potentially +5 if we are gonna research the another +1 in the blacksmith. So they are gonna be destroying the archer versus archer fight, and especially archer versus crossbow fight. But there is still another Idari out on the field. Core is going to be trying to defend this wood line, and I think that he will succeed. There isn't anything that can kill archers as good as Ridari, but they are not going to be getting on top of them thanks to all of the spears that are out on the field. On the other hand, more and more upgrades are going to be coming in for Mr. Vortex, and this is where the strength of the Macedonians will be coming in. This is where the silver upgrades are slowly but surely going to be showing. We already have +2 on the archers and +3 on those Ridari. These Ridari have 7 armor. Archers are going to be only tickling them. 2 spearmen are going to be sniping 1 Ridari and probably going to be doing a lot of damage to the other ones if Vortex will not see it. Vortex saw it, very, very good. 2 more villagers going down. Ay, not looking good. Already 9 villager kills going into the Vortex's corner, and only 3 going for the Mr. Core. Not looking good in terms of the economy. 14 villagers is the difference between these 2 players. But one player has 28% back to villagers. And is it gonna be enough? I surely do not think so. At the same time, we are going out on the field. We are trying to go and take more and more gold veins or more and more stone veins. But Core will see it with the OT Knight and surely taking 2 villager kills for him. Very, very nice to see, to try to equalize those villager numbers. There is a lot of farms already down on the field, and especially they are under a chapel, so this is something that we love to see. 17 spearmen out on the field for Mr. Ko, very, very good as well. We are rebuilding the wall, so there are not going to be any Ridari raid coming out at the moment. In terms of the military numbers, Core is definitely leading heavily. But remember, these are still Ridari. This is still cavalry, and this is cavalry with +36 HP, and at the same time, +3 armor. Sure, right now we are going to be taking the fight again, and those spears are just going to be plummeting to the ground with each shot that Vortex is going to be taking against them. Core's army is amazing to kill archers, because archer on archer fight is just simply said gonna be complete destruction. But that's not something that matters at all. Archers are not the main composition that Vortex wants to go for. Vortex is going for the mass Ridari play, and fight is gonna be coming in. There is still a lot of spears out on the field, and I'm not sure if we are gonna be if this is gonna be good for Mr. Vortex. There is still 4 crossbows in the back, sniping all of the Ridari, and this is actually a fight that Core really wants to be taking. Core completely obliterating everything, and those crossbows saving the day. Even if there weren't any spears left out on the field, we still had a chance to kill every single Ridari that was out. We are taking Boar as well with 10 villagers, so that means that 2 of them are gonna be AFK for the rest of the game. If we are not gonna be looking at it, not looking good at the macro for the Vortex. A simple mistake here and there, not a big deal. On the other hand, fight is gonna be taking place yet again. We are gonna be sniping 1 archer, but that's gonna be about it. Core slowly but surely needs to go back home. There isn't any spears out on the field over here. We are making them from the Burgrave, and that's gonna mean very, very cheap spearmen. Only 78 food and 26 wood. Something that we love to see. On the other hand, we are raiding the Boar with the spears, something that we love to see. But Vortex is yet again taking the fight, and right now there aren't any spears left, and villagers are coming to the mix-up of all of this. 3 of them are just simply set dying, and another one and another one. I think that Vortex loves all of these engagements, even if they are not super preferable for him, even if they are not the best in terms of the taking the military fights. They are very good because they are taking inside of the base for the Mr. Core, and everything is just simply set dying. There aren't any spears to kill all of the Ridari. Doesn't really matter what's happening over here. Not a good look for Mr. Core at the moment. Every single one of those archers are going to be dying at the moment, and I don't think we will be able to replace them anytime soon. 20 villager lead already out for Mr. Vortex, and I think that this is where the core is slowly but surely gonna be starting to tap out. The military numbers are just climbing and climbing for Mr. Vortex, and for Mr. Core they are just going down and plummeting. All of the farms are right now will slowly but surely be idle. Sure, we still have the TC, sure, we still have the tower in front, but is it gonna be enough? Military numbers relatively equal, but does it even matter if one side has the Mazridari and the other one Mass Archer? Not looking good for Mr. Core at the moment. On the other end, Vortex playing it nearly perfectly, raiding on every single opportunity that he got. Silver upgrades, just something that's amazing to have, and you can invest all of the gold into the units or into the economy. I think that Vortex uses civilization to near perfection. On the other hand, Core is slowly but surely forced to make double tower over here. If this double tower will go up with double sprinkled emplacement, I don't think that Core can take the engagement, but he's not gonna be letting that to happen. We are gonna be slowly but surely going idling all of those farms yet again, and Core does, even though we have the farm transition, even though our farms are superior and just simply said better, we cannot be taking fights, we cannot be making units because everything is idle at the moment. Still, Vortex with 25 more villagers already out on the field, so that's 50% economical advantage, and I don't think that that's something that we can close with better villagers at the moment. Sure, Chapel is gonna be helping us a little bit. Sure, we have at least that one relic, or we have the two relics, but one of them is gonna be slowly but surely gonna be going down because the tower will simply said die. There is some of the spears out on the field that are gonna be scaring away all of the Ridari, but when the Vortex will come back with the archers, I think that's gonna be when the fight is gonna be going his way. One ram is already going out on the field, and this ram is a little bit different than the normal ones because it has range attack. Why is it so good? Because opponents' melee units can't kill it. It's super hard to do it. At the same time, it has a little bit of a splash damage if they will walk into that fire, something we'll have to see. And just look at all of these farms. If this chapel would be behind the TC, we would actually be fine, or it wouldn't be as bad. If we would be able to at least make units, it would be relatively good. Why? Because the unit numbers are not rising as quickly as they should, thanks to the farm transition taking the place for the Vortex right now. He must heavily invest into the farms, and that's the reason why unit numbers are not rising as quickly as they should. On the other hand, unit numbers from Mr. Core are not rising at all, thanks to the farm transition being in front of his base, and that's why Vortex will be taking game over here and winning on against Mr. Core. And I think this was a very nice game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm terribly sorry for my stuttering during the casting and everything else that was going on. I think that you liked it, and if you do, remember there are some buttons that you can press, and in the meantime, bye bye.